Alright folks, I told you I was going to try to do some video on the service, or the 500-hour service of the Massey 5610 here. And this service should also be similar, I won't say exactly the same, but similar to a 5700 SL series possibly. I'm not 100% on that, but as similar as the two tractors are, this should be very representative of that also. This also should be representative of the four-cylinder models, the 56, 11, 12, and 13. I said this is the 5610, so it's the three-cylinder motor. Anyway, I've already done some of the things that were required for the 500-hour service. The oil change, I actually did it at 400 hours. So I won't be showing you any of that. I will give you just a quick description of that. I mean, it's an oil change. I think anybody that's going to tackle this obviously can, change oil. But there is one little thing I want to point out on that you might not be aware of. I've already greased the tractor some. I haven't done everything yet, but I had it running, so I went ahead and greased the front U-joints on the four-wheel drive and the pivot of the axle, which I greased it not long ago, but I went ahead and greased it again. There's a lot of mud and stuff that gets splashed up on that pivot of the front axle, which when I say the pivot, I hope you can see this because it's getting late in the evening, but this pivot right here, the axle, you can see there's a grease alamite there. There's also one on the back side. Get in here. There's one right here, right there behind this hose, like my finger. Also, while I'm down in here, there's one of the U-joints on the four-wheel drive, the front axle. There's a little rubber cover on there. I've already greased that one. I've got one around here that's a little better to see. But there's a grease alamite there on each side of this U-joint. And they have these little dust covers that go over there. And this one I have not done yet because I was saving it just to show you on the video. But yeah, there's a lot of mud and stuff that gets in here. Like I said, tractor's cleaned. I haven't used it since I cleaned it last week, so that's why I'm doing this service. But I like to grease this joint more often than, say, 500 hours. I'm not sure if that was a 50-hour grease or you had to do that every. I want to say it just said every 500 hours on that, but I may over-grease that. But I don't want this to get any slop in it. I know there's a lot of weight riding on this point, so that's the idea. But anyway, back to this U-joint here. I've had some discussion with with one of my YouTube viewers and on Facebook that also owns a 5600 series tractor. I forget which one. His is a four-cylinder version. It's either a 56, 11, 12, or 13. Forgive me for forgetting which one it is, but he does not have these grease alamites on this. And I had alluded to, I maybe or talked about, mentioned in one of my videos, this grease alamite here, and he messaged me one day and said, I don't have one of those. And he kind of was double checking with me, and I said, yeah, they're on there. I told him I'd be back at the shed here in a little bit and I would take a picture of them. So sure enough, his joint here is different than mine. His looked a little bit wider, like this whole joint had been redesigned, maybe beefed up a little bit. and for some reason they took the grease alamites out of there. There wasn't even a spot for them. This was all flush. So his was a year or two, 1 or 2 years newer than mine, so I'm not sure if there was a design change or what happened there. But anyway, yours may or may not have that grease alamite, but mine does, so I'm greasing them. And that's that. The coolant, I've already got some antifreeze. I had some pure antifreeze I just mixed a while ago, 50-50. My coolant level's a little low. You know, those that have followed this tractor since I got it in the beginning know about my coolant reservoir leak that I had, and I still do not have that leak. I checked this the other day before I washed it, and it was still dry and dusty up here. Nothing had been leaking, so for whatever reason, temperature changes, whatever, my coolant level's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and, which I never did fill it all the way to the mark, which is right in here somewhere. But I'm going to go ahead and top that off here. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Let's see. Talked about the grease points. Slide back out of here. As I mentioned before, I've got this filter now. It's recommended at 500 hours. It's in this box, and I'm gonna do it. I'm also going to drain the water out of this filter. This is the final filter. It does not have a water drain. But these two filters, again, they're painted gray because they came on the tractor or the engine from the factory. They're not recommended till 1,000 hours, so I've got those filters on hand as I've showed you before, but I am not changing those at this time. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And depending on if it gets dark on me or not, you may or may not see footage of that. But the whole point of this video is just to kind of go around and show you what needs to be done at 500 hours, so you just know and y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. The air filter, supposed to blow it out. There's actually two filters in here, so there's a pre or main filter, and then there's a final filter in here. I've done that not too long ago. I kind of like to blow filters out more regularly than 500 hour intervals, so I'm not going to mess with that today because I know I've done it not too long ago. As far as grease points, there are, well, obviously there's some here in this linkage. You kind of have to get to them. There's one there that's one right there at the end of my thumb that's covered up in dust, but I'll get those. There is one hidden right back here behind this cylinder for this pivot of your rock shaft or whatever you want to call that for your 3-point hitch. It's right here. I'm touching it with my finger if you can see it. I'm sorry the light's getting dark, but yeah, I'm working with the time that I have. There's another one over here. And while I'm in here, I don't know if you can see this. Let me get my phone out and turn this light on. Maybe you can see this. There's a little cap right here at the end of this axle. Now on the John Deeres, they have grease alamites here on the end of these axles, and you know the alamite's there. Massey, for whatever reason, decided to put a plug in here, and they tell you in the manual to pull this plug out, put a zerk in, grease it, pull the zerk back out, and put the plug in. Now, I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and put the zerk there, but I'm going to take a stab and guess that they didn't want that thing sticking up there where it might could get broken off by something wrapping around the axle. And in that case, that's a good idea, I guess. So, a little bit more hassle to do that, but that's also 500 hour service grease point, so I will be doing that. I'm going to change a hydraulic filter, which I'm going to crawl under and show you which one here in just a second. I have that filter here. I have shown you that filter before. That's actually an insert that goes in a canister that you pull off over here on the side. But I have hydraulic oil here, approved hydraulic oil for this tractor. You can't just buy any cheap 5-gallon pail of hydraulic oil and put it in this tractor. You need to use this Permatran 821 XL. Excuse me. So I got enough here just to top this off. I did have a hydraulic hose leak on me the other day on a piece of equipment. And I know I lost a little fluid, but this is where you check your hydraulic fluid. And as you can see, so I just shut the tractor off a few minutes ago, so I don't know if everything's settled out, but the fluid right now is at the bottom mark, which is the min mark. So after I change that filter, I'm going to go ahead and top this off, and with that oil, and your oil fill is right up here. So you just pull that cap off right there and fill it. Turn the light off on my phone. I have not shown y'all yet, I do have my new 3-point hitch links on. The extendable links here. Can't do that with one hand. I'm going to hold the camera here and do this. So I've got them painted up and mounted up, so everything worked well on that. The paint didn't quite match that I had, but it's close enough. It'll do the job. These will get scratched up and hammered on and beat on and kicked and stuff over time, so paint's gonna take a beating anyway. So I mentioned the grease points on the axles. I'll crawl under here and show you this hydraulic filter. There's actually 3 hydraulic filters in this system, to the transmission and the hydraulic pumps and all. There's one under this big plate here, which is not recommended till 1500 hours, the way I understand it. And the hydraulic oil is recommended to be changed for the first time at 1500 hours. So this is down low. I've been into some discussions with another owner about changing one of these filters. I think there's another one right here behind this cap, but they're very high number micron filters. They're more like strainers. But your main hydraulic filter is this canister right here. So that filter I just showed you the box of a second ago goes inside this housing. So its lines are way up high on the transmission up here. So I'll be, when I undo this, I'll have a pan under here, but I don't expect to lose very much oil doing this. But I'm going to wipe around it and clean it up good. I don't want to get any debris in it. And we'll change that filter out today. This filter, and I believe behind this cap here, this other one, I'm going to wait till the 1500 hour interval to do those, because like I said, fluid may come out of those when they're done. But anyway, so you can do these filters when you actually drain the fluid to change it. I don't know how much you can see under the tractor. I didn't get it completely clean under here, but as you can see, it's leak free, as I've always told you guys. Nothing under here is leaking, seeping. Everything's nice and tight as it should be. 500 plus hours later. So for those that wanted to know how it's holding up, it's doing well. But yeah, I'm gonna do that filter here in a little bit. Other than that, I'm trying to think. I think I pretty much covered everything. Crawl back out under here. But yeah, I haven't cleaned the inside of the cab up yet. That's one thing I was planning on doing. And I will at some point. But let's see. The only other things is checking your front axle fluid levels, your hub levels, and that kind of thing. I'm not going to do that today. Obvious thing is, I know there's fluid in them. There's no leaks, and so apparently it ain't going anywhere. So I'd highly expect them to be low and need any oil, unless they weren't filled properly from the factory. So that's my take on that. Just to, you know, it's something to just keep an eye on. You know, if something like that ever starts leaking, then you got problems. But anyway, oh yeah, the oil change. I told you I was gonna denote one thing on the oil change. Now, you change the oil pretty much like I would do any other engine. Fire it up, let the engine get to temp, shut it off, and of course the first thing I do is I'll remove this fill cap right here just to let the crankcase breathe so that the oil drains out quickly. If you don't, it's kind of somewhat sort of like putting your thumb over the end of a straw. You know, it holds the liquid in until you let off. So I'm not saying the oil wouldn't come out, but it might come out a little bit less slow. And I like for it to come out kind of quick. That way anything that's in the pan in there that might be, you know, kind of moves on and flows on and hopefully comes out the drain plug when I drain the oil. Anyway, put your bucket under there, and then you drain the oil. Now here's where I wanted to point out, and I'll try to show it to you. This tractor has 2 drain plugs on the oil pan. If I can find them here. Now, you may not can see this. Let me get my phone back out, and bear with me here. Alright. I don't know if you can see right there, I'm shining my light, but recessed up in there is a oil plug. On the other side here, I can't see it, you might can. There's another one right there. It's got 2 drains. And the reason for that is the 4-wheel drive shaft, as you can see right there, kind of goes up under that pan. The pan's kind of formed around, which it's not really a pan, it's cast. It's solid stuff. But anyway, there's a hump in this pan, so you have to drain the 2 sides. So it's a little bit more of a hassle to do, but that is what it is. At least it's that way on this one. I assume it's that way on all of them. But yeah, and there's a little washer. There's like, I think, a brass washer or something on each one of those plugs. So be mindful of that too. If you pull a plug and you don't have a washer, you may want to look in your drain bucket or pan for that washer, because there is a washer on those drain plugs. There's the oil filter right here, and like I said, I've done changed it. But you know, after you drain the oil, you can just pull this filter off. It's pretty easy. It don't really much oil come out of it when you take it off, so it's not very messy. But yeah, take it off, make sure your seal came off with it, take your new filter, lubricate your seal, put this thing on there hand tight and a little bit more, and put your drain plugs back in. You're ready to fill oil back in right here. So I'm gonna light back off here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The other thing I'm going to do, I'll get to it today, but next time I blow the engine air filter out, I can stand it. Let me open the door so I can show you guys this. The air intake for the air conditioner and your fresh air on the tractor is right in here. There's a filter you grab right in here and pull out, and you can blow that out up to so many times, and then I think you replace it. But it's right there in that cover. So just want to point that out. So that's another item that you need to clean out. I think it says to blow the filter out and to wipe the housing out, or vacuum that housing out. So that's kind of a job for a stepladder. Get up there and do that. So I know it's getting dark, so you guys are probably not gonna really get to see me do all this as I want planned, but I've got to go ahead and get it done because the madness of 2016 is coming really fast. So today is May 1st. I plan on starting, planting soybeans probably pretty much the next first available chance. And I also plan to be cutting hay the first chance. So they keep saying we're going to get rain, we keep missing it. I think we've got one rain out of these several days of rain, they keep saying. So it went south of us today, went north of us the other day, I don't know, but yeah. But oh, one more note, I am going to grease the loader under all these caps. Well, I might have to get a screwdriver, but these caps right here is a grease alamite right in there. So I will go around and grease. There's several of them on the loader. Several down here. There's one right there. So I will also grease those. But other than cleaning the tractor, blowing it off, and doing, the grease and everything I've showed you, I think that's pretty much it. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. If I can get some video of the hydraulic filter, I will, and this fuel filter. Other than that, for tonight, it's just me running around and doing the grease points and topping off that coolant reservoir. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if I get some more video here, I will post it right here behind this segment. If I don't, sorry, maybe next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.